So today we're going to put this shape in standard form. It's going to look very similar to what we've done before. The first thing I'd always recommend doing is deciding what shape it's going to be. And one of the questions on the test is just looking at something like this without doing any math, you need to determine which shape is it going to be. Okay, so we've got three shapes. This thing could be a parabola, an ellipse, or a hyperbola. We need to make a decision. Which one of these three right off the bat can I eliminate? It is not blank. Parabola. Okay? Greg, why do you know it's not a parabola? Both things are being squared, so it is not a parabola. That makes it either an ellipse or a hyperbola. Anybody want to guess whether it's an ellipse or hyperbola? With a reason here. Paige? Okay, why do you think it's a hyperbola? Yes, and here's where it's minus. It is minus in front of one of the squares. If one of your things that is being squared is an opposite sign, which in this case, this one's positive, this one's negative, that's what makes this a hyperbola. If this were a plus sign here, now that's an ellipse. Okay, that's such a small difference, but that's how we're going to make a distinction between the two. So that means putting this in standard form is going to look really, really similar to what we did with ellipse. So, first step. Putting the y's together and the x's together. Which one do you think I should write first? Should I put the y's first or should I put the x's first? It does matter because it changes our shape. We're going to put the y's first. Anybody think they have a good reason to why I'm going to put the y's first? Yeah, not just because it's first, but because it's the positive one. Think about where we want that minus sign to be. We want that minus sign to be in between the two. So we want the thing with the negative coefficient, the negative in front, to go second. So 4y squared minus 16y plus blank. This is minus x squared minus 8x plus blank equals, positive 84 plus blank plus blank. Here we go. So let's look at this first thing. 4y squared minus 16y plus a blank. Is there anything in that we need to factor out? Yep, there's a 4. Okay, we don't want that 4 in front of our y squared. So as I look at this right here, I know that I need to factor a 4 out. So remember, that means I'm dividing things by 4. So this is going to get me 4y squared. Then what? Minus 4y plus a blank. I got to factor both things by 4. Here's the one thing that makes today different than what we've done before. In this second chunk, I need to factor something out of that as well. Not an x, the negative. We don't want it to be a negative with that. It's going to be a negative 1. If you want to factor out negative 1, please do that. Okay, I am factoring out a negative out of that chunk. Anytime you're doing a hyperbola, we don't even want that negative in there. So we're going to factor it out. So when I factor it, it's like I'm dividing both things by negative 1. So this is going to be a positive x squared. And plus 8x plus blank equals positive 84 plus blank plus double. There was step 1. Okay, that was all organization. We put our x's together and our y's together. We factored a 4 out of our y's, and I had to factor a negative out of our x squared because there was a negative in front of it. I don't want anything but a positive right there. Okay, all you want is a parenthesis right there in front. All right, step 2 is filling in the blanks with half of b squared. So Marcus, what number do you think is going to go in this first blank here? 4. Half of 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. What about in the blank on the other side? 16, because he took this 4 out in front. He's going to multiply it by that 4 to get him 16 there. Harrison, what about in this blue blank here? What do you think is going to go in this spot? 16. Half of 8 is 4, and 4 squared is 16, so we're going to put 16 there. But what am I going to write in the blank on the other side? Minus 16, because I'm going to, again, multiply by that negative 1 that we factored out, and it's going to become a negative 16 out in front. That's really key here. From here, we're putting it in standard form. Okay, we're making it pretty, so it's 4y squared minus x squared equals, well, that positive 16 and that negative 16 really just cancel each other out. So it's really just 84. Albert, what's going to go in this blank with my y? Negative 2, cut it in half. And with my x, Nate? 4, take that 8, cut it in half, plus 4. Almost done, but not quite. Almost done, but not quite. Floor, what do I still need to do here? Yep, we want to make this equal to 1, so we're going to divide everything by 84. So that's going to get me y minus 2. That's a bad minus 2. Y minus 2 squared. 84 divided by 4, 21, minus x plus 4 squared over 84 equals 1. This is a hyperbola. I've got two things squared. I've got that important minus sign in the middle like we thought we were going to have. Questions on this setup? Would this be a fun thing to graph? Why is this one going to be a little bit harder to graph than normal? Yeah. Yeah, you got to square root those numbers on bottom like 2184. You could do it. You could go decimal, but it's not going to be a lot of fun. Good.